Today, guys, we're going to be looking at the EOTech XPS2 Holographic sight, or red dot optic, however you want to put it. I believe that EOTech calls it a holographic sight. So anyways, stick around. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back. Well, hello YouTube! Hey guys, it's Fletch. Welcome back to the Big Sky Tactical Channel here in Big Sky Country, also known as Montana. It has a 65 MOA outer ring, and then it has a 1 or a 2 MOA dot that resides in the center of that. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You've got the 65 MOA outer ring for quick acquisition, and then you've also got that 1 or 2 MOA dot in the center if you need to reach out and love someone. So let's talk about some of the specifics real quick of the optic here. Temperature range from -40 to 150. I live in a northern environment and we definitely get lows like that, so to me that is that important. They rate it to being about 30 feet for waterproofness, and so obviously this is an optic that is shock proof, waterproof, and different things like that. It also is fog proof in the internal optics that are on there. At 100 yards, it has a 30-yard field of view and a 4-inch eye relief, so that's very good as well. It's powered by 123 lithium battery, and they do also have versions that use standard batteries. However, they are quite a bit bigger because you have to have a battery compartment for those standard size batteries. And your run time on your normal setting is about 600 hours. It does also have a auto shutoff timer. 8 hours is what it is by default. However, you can reprogram it to be 4 hours if that is something that's of value to you. And then of course it does also have anti-glare coatings on there and whatnot, just like you would with any other high quality optic that's out there on the market right now. I got to tell you, a lot of my experience has been with more of an Aimpoint M2 type optic, something along those lines. And so I really wasn't sure whether or not that I would like this EOTech design. It doesn't have lens covers, and it seems like you would get crap that would fall, kind of like in this area here on the front of the optic on there. And that wasn't my experience in using it, and so I was pleasantly surprised by that. The optic itself, as you can see here, it mounts right here by that screw, and then here's the back side of your battery compartment, and the controls are over here on the front side. And if you'll give me a minute here, we'll turn it around and we'll look at the other side real quick. So here is the other side, and as you can see, we've got our adjustments here. This is your elevation, and this is your windage, and this is the battery cover. And as we mentioned before, this uses one CR123 battery, and you have a nice knurled cap on there as well to get that off and on. The adjustments do have a nice positive click to them. So here on your adjustments, it's 1/2 MOA per click on those. Just so you're aware of that, if that's something that you would like to know. And another nice feature that you have here is you have a little lanyard that's on here that is for your cap, but it mounts it to the housing that's on here to protect the loss of your battery cap if you're trying to change out your battery when something's going down, so to speak. Now they do have some aftermarket lens covers and different things like that you can get for this. However, in my opinion, it's not as intuitive as was, say, like an Aimpoint M2 design, where you have like round tube and flip up lens covers and things like that. That being said, I did like the EOTech Optic design a lot better. Having that 65 MOA outer ring, and then you would have your dot like right in the middle of that, and we'll look at that here in a minute. But the 65 MOA ring is really nice for quick target acquisition. You can have both your eyes open. It's parallax free, and it's really nice because you got that big 65 MOA outer ring that's on there for things that are up close, quick target acquisition. But then you also have the 1 MOA or 2 MOA, depending on which model you have, center dot that's under. So if you need to reach out and something that's 50 or 100 yards away, you can do that, and your red dot is not covering up your target like you would have on, say, like an aim point Comp 2 that has a 4 MOA dot that's in there. So as far as that goes, I really like that about the EOTech design in comparison to the design of the aim point. So let's go ahead and let's look at the controls on here real quick. Let me get the camera repositioned for that. Here we are looking at the rear of the aim point, and you can see we've got 2 toggles here. There you've got your brightness up and your brightness down. If you want to turn it on, you just simply press the brightness up, and you can see there is our sight right there. And as you can see, that is a very bright optic that's in there, or holographic. And as I was talking about before, you've got this really bright outer ring at 65 MOA, and then you've got the little dot just in the center. And like I said, I really like the design of the 65 outer MOA for quick target acquisition. Now, if you want to turn it off, you just simply press both at the same time, and it goes off. You turn it on, you just press it again, and there are 30 lightness or dark settings that you can go through here, and it does definitely get bright enough so that if you live in a northern environment like I do, where you have a lot of snow cover in the winter, that's not going to wash out your optic. Now, if you have the model that has a night vision mode, you would press right here. This is just a plug that's in there in this model because it's not night vision compatible, but they do also obviously have night vision compatible models that are out there as well. Your actual price, if you were to purchase something like this, is going to be in the 600s, but again, this is absolutely a battle hardened and proven optic here, and you get what you pay for. And if you want the best, then you got to pay for it. And as far as that goes, it really doesn't matter, in my opinion anyways, if you're talking about EOTech or Aimpoint or Trijicon. Any of those right now are being employed and used by our troops, and they are very good optics. And so again, you're looking at about $600 or something like that for an optic like this. And again, this is not the night vision compatible one. There is no actuator there to put it in night vision mode, but you can make it go down to where you can barely even see it. And so as you can see there, and if we just ramp it back up, you can see it gets crazy bright. So let me back it back down here so it's not maxing out the light sensors on my camera. But yeah, as you can see there, a very, very clear, very, very bright holographic red dot optic there. Your brightness setting ratio on here is 146,000 to 1 from your absolute maximum brightest setting to your absolute lowest setting. This also does, I don't think I mentioned this before, this does also come with a QD or a quick disconnect mount that you can get with it as well. This current version that I'm looking at right here does not have that. However, it is certainly available. And this one right here is where your mount would happen to be. So overall, like I said, very, very impressed with the EOTech XPS red dot optic here, holographic, and it does a very, very good job. And you know, the only constructive criticism that I could give about it, like I've mentioned before, is just simply that, you know, there's no easy way to protect the front of your optic, you know, either on the user side or the front side of the optic. And that's about the only downfall that I could say about this optic that I really didn't care for. That, and it's a little bit heavier. This is like 11 ounces, and an M2, like, you know, aim point M2 is 7 ounces. So it, believe it or not, even though it seems like it's a little bit smaller, it is heavier than, say, like what an aim point is. Now we're talking, what, 4 or 5 ounces. Not really such a big deal, but yeah, there is a little bit of difference. So again, this is the EOTech Holographic, a red dot optic, and I highly recommend them. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I do greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.